Good morning, folks. Continuing on with the Black Ship Grooming Soap. Today's Aladdin Spice. And it's a pretty soft soap, and this one here comes in a different color. Like I said, it is pretty soft. I've already had fun whipping up the lather. That's the bloom water. Already put the hot towel to the face. Got my usual suspects here. Alum block with a rubber band. Humphrey's Witch Hazel Lilac. Today I'm coming in with Fine for the aftershave. And I am with my beard butter. This is the Spirited Blend. I think this is probably going to be the last day because that's about all that's left. So I'm going to follow up, excuse me, starting tomorrow. I think I'm going to be working with Sterling's beard oil. Orange is the flavor on that one there. I have it whipped up here with this synthetic knot from Omega brush. I think the model number is 90075. I'll put it down below. All these model numbers, and got it whipped up here in my red bowl, and yeah, there's a lot of lather, plenty in this bowl. I was having some fun whipping it up. It just comes right on up. The blade of the day. I was having fun with this one here. This is this will be my first time go with this one. This is a Treet. What's that? Dura sharp. And it comes wrapped with two. And this one here, this blade's made in Pakistan. And it's just a small thing, but I really like these sort of things when it comes to advertisement or marketing. And on it says here for silky shaves. So I'm expecting a smooth one. We'll see. The shaver of the day is I've shaved with this only once before, and it's a Merkur Progress short handle. Some of the design is very similar to the Parker variant. I have seen, and I don't know if the owner excuse me, if the owner, I got this one here used, but I also seen another one where it's really hard to see right there. There's a dot right there for your indicator, so you know where you're supposed to be lining your aggression up at. A person has on eBay where the dot and the numbers are red. I don't know if that person did that or the previous one did, or that was an older model where that took place, but I do like that idea, especially for me. It's not the easiest to see. It just brings it out. It's just easier to pick up on. I'm going to start off with setting 5, and I'll go from 5 to 4, and then I'll jump to 3, and we'll see how that works out for me today. Like I said, I've already put a hot towel to the face, bloom water, got it worked up. It was, I had that, and I had a little bit of lather that was ending up here and there, and so I went ahead and put it on my face, but I was just having some fun this morning. This synthetic knot in this Omega brush, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's a white bristle. It's probably the earlier synthetic bristle. That's the way I've got it figured. And look at that. It seems to work fine for me, and when it comes to anything in the way of scritch, I like more brushes, so scritch doesn't bother me. As you can kind of tell, it doesn't have a problem whipping up the lather. Seems to do it up pretty good. Now if you're after something with a lot of backbone, this particular knot does not have it. But on the other hand, it doesn't have any problem whipping up the lather, so there you go with that. And it's inexpensive. In other words, when you start to look, when I say inexpensive, when the grand scheme of shaving brushes, right around the $10 mark is pretty inexpensive, at least in my opinion. Excuse me. Alright, we're going to get started with setting number 5 with the green pass. Watched a little bit of football yesterday, college football, and I noticed that it seems like here in Oklahoma the local teams must have had a good time this week because they all won. I guess you might say the one of most importance, I guess you might say, or the one that was in the limelight was Ohio State and OU, Oklahoma University. I watched most of that game, and it was interesting game. You can tell in both teams, you know, were up for the game, but on the other hand, this being a game so early in the season, you see some room for improvement, if you will. Especially if you're looking at trying to get it to that championship game. Looked like at any point though that game could have went in a different direction. At times it looked like it was trying pretty hard. When you get a quarterback that's starting to limp, fumbles, missed field goal, stuff like that, at any point in time the game can go south in a hurry. This, I was trying before I started the video, trying to put my finger up. I read the scent description, and I know there's orange in both the soap and the aftershave, and I haven't been able to put my finger on where I have this scent. In other words, I'm familiar with the scent, but I don't know how I'm familiar with this scent. At least to the best of my memory. Let me look at that lather. I think it's the myrrh is what's, I think it's got myrrh in it. I think that's what's, the frankincense and myrrh and some of the other soaps. I think this one here is coming through. That's the reason why I think it smells familiar to me. Setting 5, you could feel the blade. I don't feel like it was to the point where it's uncomfortable by any means. If you're watching this video for the first time, I shave with a shavette primarily, and this being the month of September, it's been more single edge. But the changing the setting now from 5 to 4, so I'm kind of used to a blade feel, if you will. There is some feedback. Blade feels okay. I mean, you know, we started out with setting a 5 and now working down to a 4. Blade feels pretty decent. Can't complain. I would have to say this experience with this blade versus sometimes referred to as a Treet Black Beauty. My first experience with that one there was first shave was not necessarily a good one. I was a little disappointed. But then I tried it in another shaver and worked just fine. So maybe it was just with that razor, that shaver, or maybe that blade wasn't up to snuff. This one here is working pretty good. Yeah, kind of surprised. Because it wasn't a really expensive pack. There's 10 in that pack. And it wasn't real expensive. I guess you might got some. I created my own sample pack, if you will. Because there's a number of blades out there that I have not tried. And they're inexpensive, so it's not a... Yeah, right there. Get that on the again screen pass there. Thought I'd give them a try. It's not quite like a single edge blades, injector blades, or Feather Artist Club, or the Kai. I think that's how you pronounce it. Some of these blades can get a bit on the expensive side, and you have to figure out whether or not you want to try them, especially since I feel like I've already found my blade. And Feather Artist Club Supers work well for me. I have the professional ones, and they don't seem to give me quite as smooth of a shave as the Super does, just because of my beard type. It's the whiskers are thick, and in places where it's really densely populated, the Super blade just works better for me. This one here is doing quite alright with the, especially back over in here, didn't feel any tugging. To me, that's where the true test is at. If it makes it through here without tugging. You know what? I think I forgot to change this. I'm not used to shaving with adjustables. When you shave with a shavette, it's human adjustable, I guess you might say, when it comes to pressure and whatnot. Oh yeah, there's a big difference right there in between the 4 and the 3. The blade feels a lot different. Still getting feedback, but the blade feel is a lot different. I'd have to say, yeah, I think that setting 3 would probably be about a medium. If you were looking just to put it on one setting and leave it, and if you're not accustomed to aggressive razors or anything like that, 3 might be a good place to start. 3 feels pretty good. It's not, in other words, it's not a Gillette Tech by any means, but it's just a digression is a step above that. So if you're looking for that, the setting 3 might be a good setting to start with. The 5 and 4 is still, it's aggressive, but it's not to the point where I feel like I needed to turn it down by any means. Every once in a while I get a few whiskers right there. They're really tough to get. Every once in a while, it's not too often. There's a lot of slickness. Left over with this soap. I'm probably just about imagining that this post-shave feel is going to be just like the rest of his soap that I've tried. Don't know, you probably can't hear it. Doubt that the camera's picking it up, but either Thor or Felix is wanting something that's not readily available. One of my cats. He's if it's Felix, he'll be really persistent. He'll keep right on meowing and meowing. He'll keep right on crying until he gets what he wants. They're pretty ornery too. They get up on the roof. I have a tree that's relatively close. And I think they enjoy climbing the tree and getting up on the roof. I know there was one morning my daughter was telling me where Felix was up on the roof and he was over by her bedroom window and the window was open and he came over there to talk to her. So she got up and let him in the house. He's an ornery cat, I tell you. Alum block. I think I'm about to wet my face. I let it dry out too much. Right there, a little bit of stinging right there. I think overall though that's a pretty good blade for me so far. Especially if you're looking for trying to match that silky shave. Yeah, I think a setting 3 would have been a good one to start with. If you're looking for just a mild, gentle shave. But I know that setting 5 and 4, it took off quite a bit. Pretty good shave. I'm liking the scents in the soap though. I guess you might say I've been really focusing on the post-shave feel. A lot of the soaps are, in other words, the scent and the slickness, but on that post-shave feel, to me that's where the money's really at. Because if your face feels moisturized, feels good, you got your money's worth out of your soap. Humphrey's Witch Hazel. I have to say the spout on this Humphreys, kind of like it. It's small, and when it comes out in a very small stream, so you don't get a whole lot coming out at one time. The weather here has been pretty nice. I know around Florida it hasn't been in Texas, but when the lows in the 50s and 60s overnight, windows are open, the mornings are nice and cool. Great morning for coffee out on the porch. This is what the restrictor looks like on a fine aftershave if you never tried any. It's not the smallest, but it's not the biggest either. Yeah, I think it's Barbersol's got a pretty good size opening. You get a lot coming out in a hurry. And this has alcohol in it. So if you got any nicks or anything of the sort, it's going to let you know about it. This was a good shave though. Like I said, I only had that one spot that the alum block was letting me know. Smells great. I like citrus anyway. Orange, lemon, lime, other fruit flavors, mango. Had a great shave. Really enjoyed the adjustables. Tinkering with the settings. Whether you want to set it for just one or set it for the whole entire shave. The when you go to line this up, there it may be kind of hard to see, but there is a mark here on the base plate and there is a mark on the top cap. When you put this together, you want to make sure you get those two lined up. In other words, don't get them opposite of each other. That is what it looks like when you start to take it, to unscrew it. So when I guess I'll turn around this way so you can see where that mark is at. How I tell where I'm at in the way of the settings. So when it looks like it is bottomed out, that's where I take the dot in the number and line up the dot and the 1. And to me that's the first setting. Then I adjust from there. So that's how you know where you're at on your settings. At least that's how I work it. Pretty sure that's how it was intended. Got this used, so needless to say I don't have the instructions or anything like that. But that's how that's when it comes to adjustables like this is how I do it. I run it all the way down to the bottom, line it up with the dot and the number 1, and then I know that I've got the first setting, because you can't it won't go any lower. And this of course isn't a two-piece design. If you've never seen anything quite like this, you unscrew it from the bottom there, just pulls out to the top. That's what it looks like on the inside, and it's got some pretty good sized openings there for the lather. So that's what I really like about these designs. It allows the lather just to come right on through, and the as it goes for underneath, pretty typical. And I usually put beard oil on my threads, keep them things nice and lubricated, and that's what the blade looks like. Had a great time this morning shaving. Hope everybody's safe, doing well. Smooth shaves to you.